This is Terrance of Terrance Hill TV. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Terrance Hill TV, presented to you by WTV over the digital airways of YouTube. Yes, WTV, epic, elevate the vision. Let's do it.
Well, I hope you are ready for Epic Elevation, WETV.
Say no more, go get the bag, go get the cake, go get the cheese, and say no more. Say no more, say no more. Say no more. What's going on, y'all? This is Terrance, and we welcome you to another edition of Terrance Hill TV, presented to you by WTV over the digital airways of YouTube. I'm on the road. I'm in Atlanta. I'm live. I'm not in my studio, but I am live, and I'm here to talk about this breaking news. Kanye West has been accused of a lot of horrendous things, kind of similar to some of the things that Diddy was accused of. And I spoke about a story, I think it's like the same story like a year ago. It was some accusations against him and the Dream. And for the most part, 9 times out of 10 on this channel, most of what we do is music reactions, but I do, talk about trending news from time to time. I do talk about sports or whatever. So we are here to cover this particular topic. Before we get into the reaction of the breaking news and accusations against Kanye, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well to be notified whenever new content is uploaded. Check out the community section where you all can vote on friendly debates and polls, order some merch in our product section to support this channel, and check out some other videos that I've done as well. But right now, it's all about Kanye West and everything that's pertaining to him. Let's get into it.
Start with a shocking lawsuit, a story we broke yesterday. Kanye West is being sued for sexual harassment by his ex-assistant. But this lawsuit, I gotta say, the information in this lawsuit is about as filthy as it gets.
Yeah, we are going to have a hard time describing the things that Lauren Pisciata claims Kanye, while she was under his employ, that he was texting to her.
So she was an OnlyFans model, and she says making about $1 million a year, very successful, when Kanye somehow spotted her.
And decided he wanted to, I like how you said that, somehow spotted her.
She never says in the lawsuit that it's because of OnlyFans.
Right, but he became familiar with her and wanted to hire her to be his personal assistant. And it is worth mentioning, I think, that when she came on board was within months of Kanye's divorce from Kim Kardashian.
Can I just note that she does not look dissimilar to Kim?
Correct. She does not. But she doesn't, that's just our opinion. She doesn't mention that at all in the lawsuit. But she says once she was on board that Kanye, as her boss, would text her things. But the things that she says he was texting had nothing to do with, work. It was more about sex, his desire to.
When I spoke about this a year ago, what did I say? When the Dream and Kanye West was accused of these things, and again, these are accusations. It doesn't mean that he did these things. But one of the things that I learned from Star, those of you who watch his podcast on YouTube, Troy Terrain, he always speaks about when people want to talk to him about business and want to talk to him about certain things, to email him, send a professional email. Do not inbox him. Do not text his phone. And I think that's, and those words resonate with me. I know, Star has a great show. It's very fun and, we troll and stuff like that. But if you listen, there are a lot of jewels and nuggets that you can learn watching that show. And that's one of the things that is always resonated in my mind. Any business that you have to talk about needs to be done through a professional email. And I think texting and that kind of inboxing, that stuff is going to get people in trouble. And, I was a general manager for a TV station for many years. We took sexual harassment courses. So, of course, there's certain things that shouldn't even be brought up in the first place, right? Certain conversations, certain topics. We learn about, whenever we had guests come to the station about, not complimenting people, even taking pictures, keeping your hands to yourself. These are things that people can learn that's going to, keep them out of trouble. But obviously people don't operate that way.
Have sex with her. I'm cleaning this up as much as I can, but
How about fixation with a male body part?
yes, his own.
Yeah, also fixation with what she was doing with other men. He wanted to know about that. And Charles, you hit on this. What makes this sort of all the worse is not that he was having conversations with somebody he happened to know. It's with an employee.
Allegedly.
Certainly, allegedly. It was with an employee. Those are the allegations. She was actually his employee, first a personal assistant. She then says he promised her promotions, not in exchange for anything, but just as a matter of course. These
and also a huge pay increase.
Huge pay increase, up to as much as $4 million. And so the allegations in the complaint are obviously insanely graphic, and that's what's going to get the headlines. But underlying it all, allegations of real discrimination against an employee. Said he fired her. She alleges it was failure to engage in some sort of quid pro quo, harassment based on gender. A lot of really serious allegations.
Kanye has not responded. We reached out. We have not heard back from his rep. But I got to tell you, when you read this thing,
there's some of the quotes, by the way, that sound like something I've heard him say before. There's one thing in particular about saying that certain part of his anatomy is racist. That he was telling, according to her, to Lauren, he was telling her in text that.
Yeah, I mean, he did go on this Twitter rant at one point and was saying some crazy stuff, which they're going to obviously use against him in the trial. I think right now, I think it's just a civil matter. I don't think this is like a criminal case.
He believes his penis is racist,
and I think what he's saying is that he likes white women,
right?
And I think that
that's how I read
it. That's the way I understood it too. Now, again, these are allegations, and you never know. And I think it's so important to say, look, this is a public lawsuit. She filed it. We actually had heard rumblings that this was coming down the pike.
I wasn't here when you broke this yesterday. Did she include in the lawsuit any of the text messages?
Yeah.
Like screen grabs of text messages?
Well, she wrote the text messages.
She wrote it out, but no screen grabs.
No, but she wrote it out in painstaking detail. She clearly wanted to make the nature of the text messages, as well she should if they're accurate, the focal point of what people were going to see and point out. Every detail is in there.
Hi, this is Lauren from Marina Del Rey. And to tell you the truth, I'm not surprised to hear about these allegations. I've been concerned about a lot of the women in Kanye's orbit for a long time. He obviously needs an HR department. I think he needs some help himself. And I hope this woman gets justice if these allegations are true. And I am curious to know how this might affect his current marriage.
Well, I got to say, I'm glad you mentioned that, because Bianca Censori, his wife, was working there at the same time,
right,
as Lauren,
as a designer, right?
And
she was the easy designer,
right? And she was there at the same time. Obviously, we haven't heard from her, but
at all.
Tangled
like
web,
ever.
Tangled web.
Well, I mean, I don't have long that I can talk because I came out of town. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my battery with me, so my laptop will be dying in a couple of minutes. But what do you guys think? I mean, like I say, when I covered this story, and The Dream also was accused of some accusations about a year ago, I said that, and Nelly was accused. And yeah, I know it's easy for people to say, oh, this is an attack on Black men. Okay, even if it is, then that means we have to conduct ourselves better, right? We have to know that we are being watched, that we have to know that we shouldn't be doing certain things. We shouldn't be saying certain things. So I don't necessarily buy that argument that it is an attack, but let's say hypothetically it is. then do better. Do better, because these guys are getting these endorsement deals and contracts and branding. And so, you're elevating, you're going up, you're making more and more money. This is what comes with the territory. Look at these successful companies, Coke and Nike and all these places. Lawsuits. It happens all the time. So the more money that your brand makes and the more money that you make as an artist, and you are doing these things and you got people around you who work for you and stuff like that, you really need to be careful who you're hiring. Make sure you got people around you that you trust. And I'm not saying this lady is lying. I don't know, but I'm just saying I think that the artists, or you don't necessarily have to be an artist. It could be an NBA player, a football player, whoever. You got to watch the people around you. You got to watch these lawyers. You got to watch these agents. You got to watch everybody. Everybody's got to be watched, right? I forgot who said it, but somebody had a lawyer, and their lawyer was watching the other lawyers. You got to watch how you move. And so we'll definitely see how this unfolds. I know somebody made a comment. Yeah, I agree. The more eyes you get on you and have to make sure. Yeah, facts. Yeah, it's definitely we gotta watch these things. And there's a lot of pastors right now. They're under fire for stuff, right? We got stuff going on within the church. So this is just bigger. This is bigger than Kanye West. We have stories breaking left and right of pastors and ball players and everybody being accused of stuff. And the truth will definitely come to the light. Sometimes, thank you for your comment, Bambi, I appreciate it. Sometimes this stuff, sometimes when people get away with certain stuff, and they're gonna keep doing things and find themselves in more and more hot water. I know Kanye was like one of the few people, probably the only famous person I heard that showed up to Diddy's trial. And, Diddy is still in hot water because we don't know if the feds are going to bring more charges. There's been rumblings the state could bring charges, but I know he's facing a bunch of civil cases. And this is what happens, right? Even if, let's just say hypothetically, it's a setup, right? Let's just say he didn't do these things, but they're going to break him financially. And I don't think Kanye, especially with the hit that he's taken over the years with the, anti-Semitic comments, you got certain countries that want him coming over there right now. Are his pockets as deep as Diddy's? And, is he able to withstand, if the feds try to come after him, can he withstand? So I think hip hop in general, or, beyond hip hop, just media, big actors, actresses, whoever, really need to be careful these days, and watch how you conduct yourself. But let's just say hypothetically he did send these text messages. It's not appropriate. It's out of pocket. It's wrong, and it's just something that shouldn't be done. So I'm not against Kanye. I don't agree with a whole bunch of stuff that he's been doing and saying, but in this particular case, we're definitely got to get more information and let the facts come out. But I hope he did not do these things that he's being accused of. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and let me know where you're watching us from. We're streaming right now on Instagram, Twitch, and Facebook. So I really, really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Check out some other videos. I planned to do a second video today, but that's just not possible with my laptop getting ready to die. But I really appreciate it. Let me know where you guys are watching us from. And before we get out of here, those who want to connect with me on other social media sites, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, X, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok, all at I'm in the Hills. Those who want to donate to our efforts, the Cash App and Venmo, or both, I'm in the Hills. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can support with the Super Chat. I have two websites. The first one is www.eetv.com. That's with two E's. That stands for Epic Elevate the Vision, which is my production company. And also check out www.terrancehill.com as well. I would love to connect with you on all social media sites. Really appreciate you guys for tuning into this edition of Terrance Hill TV. hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well to be notified whenever new content is uploaded. Check out the community section. Got another comment. Kanye is kind of special. Yeah, I mean, Kanye is definitely, he's been doing the most. He's been doing the most for a minute. And it's sad. I mean, because he came in the game, he was such a musical genius, and he was like doing a lot of special things in music and the messaging, and just over time, it's just morphed into something totally different. Like, we talk more about his antics than his music these days, and that's just not how it used to be. But definitely, I appreciate your comment. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, you want to support us, please do so. Again, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, check out the community section, and order some merch and support the channel. But I really appreciate it. Tomorrow is New Music Friday, so we'll definitely be doing some videos tomorrow of new music that's coming out. So that's what we're all about on this channel, is reacting to music. But I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great Thursday. Take care.
I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I got a baby face, call it